Good morning all, and welcome to Video Trends for 2017 conference. Thank you all for coming. We have a full day ahead of us. I want to thank all the companies that are supporting us. I want to thank the various speakers we have from Israel and abroad, and our special moderators. We'll have a great day. This conference is part of the activity of Social Wisdom Consulting that I run, that creates events to make great content for engagement with companies. These events are active in Israel and abroad. We did an event in Mexico a few months ago, and we are planning a few events in Israel and outside of Israel in the next few months. You will all get notice about it. If you want to join to future event, feel free to contact me, and we can discuss it. This day is based on various panels and demos. Next year, video and spend forecast to increase by over 20%, and video is showing the fastest annual growth rate out of all digital, including social, at least until 2020. We will talk about the leading advertising trends set to impact the industry. I want to just to start the day and call our first speaker, our keynote speaker, Simeon Rothstein from Cybersoft. Thank you.
Shalom לכולם, הראל תודה. Okay, hello guys. My name is Simeon Rothstein. I am CEO of Cybersoft. Cybersoft is mobile video SSP. We provide new technology solutions as well as business for video advertising industry. So today we'll talk about different video trends for the next year. So we see what's happening in the industry, and there's a lot of companies come and go. But few of the topics which we see can and will strong any company in our industry. So as we trend, we saw different programmatic solutions. The company with programmatic solutions able to reach much better audience as well as much better advertisings. More and more machine learning solution is used in the industry for the decision making, prediction, identify of different fraud solutions. And another aspect is going more and more for the industry, it's smart TV and OTT. Till now, most of the cable company, TV company that you know, don't use target video advertising. So actually all videos are generic and not target for specific audience. Using of different solutions, as well as solution Cybersoft, we provide such companies, cable companies, the ability to provide full targeting solution to the existing audience. But today I would like to talk more on the header bidding. Actually client-side header bidding and server-side header bidding. It's technology that a lot of companies talk for the last year, and we see that the industry going forward to its directions. As for each coin, there are several sides. For header bidding, at least 3 sides. We have publishers, we have advertisers, and we have end users. The header bidding technology have impact for each of them. So what is header bidding technology? It's the technology that provides the ability to create simultaneous multi-calls to several domain partners from the end user website, for example. And using this approach, they're theoretically able to increase the yield. First of all, it's science that are simultaneous calls and not the classic waterfall, as you know. In a classic waterfall, you go to one domain partner after another, and then the domain partner will be in the second, third, another place in your waterfall, will have the worst latency ever. So the chance you're able to receive the feed rate will be reduced, and your inventory as a publisher will be less see in the classic waterfall. So what simultaneous header bidding is doing, you're able to send the ad request simultaneous for several domain partners. So at the end, you also maximize your inventory. since more domain partners see in the same time this ad opportunity, and they're able to decide if they have the required fill rate for it. And another side, winner validations. Video ads format changing each year from time to time. Like for the last year, we saw that the rappers took great place on the video demand side. As a result, that actually ad server, the end user receive this fast, is not actually the video ad inside. So only current technology provides the ability only on the client, on the player side, indeed identify it's actually the video ad inside, and then making decision if to show it or not. But so also there is few issues with the current header bidding solution that the industry have. First of all, page load time. Since there are several simultaneous call requests, ad requests, there's a problem of the resource. Mobile supports only several connections till 10, I believe, till 10. And each request has more and more time. At the end user experience, it's badly. It's slowed, too long. Other problem that the publisher have, they don't have one report for each bidder that we are using inside the player. Ad quality. They can't control ad quality, and we see more and more publisher requirements as well as in different states, different requirements. What are the ad quality? Which topics the video ads have to be, and what we don't support, like tobacco, alcohol. Using the current header bidding technology, they don't able to identify what the ad is. Tracking. There's a requirement of one system to see all the tracking, to see what is the audience, what the statistics, and header bidding doesn't include the solutions. Latency. From one hand, header bidding improve yield, but then since latency is became higher, it's have negative impact on the yield. In-app smart TV. Actually, today header bidding technology doesn't support in-app, since it's required to work on the page header, and it's not the way the in-app is working. And integration time. Adding each additional demand partner on your header bidding require additional integration. Not all publishers building for it. Advertiser side. So header bidding from advertiser side have much more transparency. That is very valued from the demand partners. And indeed, it solves fewer problems. All publisher impressions. Since the demand partner will receive all the ad opportunity for specific publisher, they can see exactly when they want to bid, to which page, on which place on the page, so they have full transparency. But they also have a problem with that. Since the simultaneous calls, they have multiple requests for same ad opportunity. Think if several networks working with each other, and then the same ad opportunity coming from different channels. And then when it's reach demand partners, you have multiple ad requests and actually the same ad opportunity. It's very problematic for that point. Efficiency rate. If you're using several simultaneous calls and let's say everyone return you a video ad, you have to choose only one. At the end, all other demand partners that also send you the video ad but you haven't showed will reduce your efficiency rate. At the end, you see the reduction on the fill rate. So as well, it's have a negative impact. DMPs. DMPs have a great role in the industry. They enrich each ad opportunity with more precise information for each ad opportunity, and client-side header bidding doesn't have any DMP on their side. And targeting. Each demand partner have his own requirement, which video ad he want to receive, when and why. And this ability does client-side header bidding doesn't support. And we have end user. Actually, it's the most problematic part of the header bidding. Traffic cost. A lot of states actually, like United States, end user pay for their traffic for each kilobyte. Since you add in them additional ad requests, at the end they'll need to pay for the cost of the traffic and have a problem with that. The number of times the video ad will be able to show is problematically since the technology limitations that mobile have right now, and the time for the video ad to be added. So what we did, after considering all the problems that you have in header bidding, we released about 6 months ago server-side header bidding. So we're running tests for this technology for the last 6 months to see what we can improve and what solution can we benefit. More than that, actually, most of the points that I have mentioned as positive as well as negative, we considered in the server-side solutions, and we fully support it. First of all, our server-side header bidding provides technology and solution as well as for mobile web and desktop, as well as for in-apps and smart TV. So the same approach, simultaneous calls, managed on the server side, and it's based on each demand requirement. Some demand partners would agree to receive simultaneous calls, some would not. We take into consideration every demand partner's requirement. Winner validations. So basically what we did, we create and solve the problem of VAS tag on the server side, wrapper VAS tags. So on the server side, we're able to identify actually the video ad inside the VAS we return, even if it's a VAS wrapper, and this is one of the benefits that had client-side header bidding, now it's on server side. There's one solution for all devices. If it's in-app, if it's mobile web, desktop, smart TV. So thank you. And SideSoft continue to hiring. Talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Simeon. I now call Guy Hollander, the moderator for our first panel.
Okay, hi everyone, good morning. Just without further ado, let me introduce the panel. Simeon, please come again. Thank you. Didier from Lamlight. You're here, all right, thanks. And Rafi from Nuried. Okay. And Doron, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Hi. Yeah, we just meet again. Hi. How you doing? Okay. Okay, so thanks again for coming. Before we start, we want to make it very interesting for you. It's a morning. We appreciate your time, and we want to make sure you get value from it. So maybe quick, everybody introduce himself. I don't know, 45 seconds, like give the good pitch sales about what you do, who is, and then we will start, please.
Hi again. My name is Samir Russian from SideSoft. SideSoft provides mobile video advertising solution for publishers and advertising. So first of all, we're a mobile video SSP, but in order to provide great fill rates, we have to provide better solution for our demand partners. So actually, we concentrate on the ad quality for each side, demand and advertising, providing more than 5 billion opportunities daily.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Didier Nguyen, Sales Director for Lamlight Networks. Lamlight Networks is an American company. We are specialized in content delivery. What it means, basically, whatever your content is, video, web objects, applications, we are able to deliver any of your content everywhere in the world. We've got some very specific architecture and platform solutions. It's my third trip to Tel Aviv, Israel this year. I know some of you, we've got some customers in Israel which are important for us, like AnyClip, Vonetize, Iron Source. And basically all over the world, we've got some media group companies, customers. It can be the BBC in UK, Channel 4, Channel 5, but we've got some good and big corporate enterprise. So anything which is matter with content delivery and with the issue of delivery good, high quality content, and everywhere in the world, because that's one of the key issues now for the for digital world, we are living in a worldwide community. It's very important that your audience is going to be rich and touch with your content exactly where you want, and also on the device that you are looking for. I think this panel is going to discuss about mobile. Mobile is going to be, is already a key vector of communication, but there are plenty of devices which are important to know. PC laptops now is not the only one support, but you are going to have connected TVs, you are going to have some new generation of devices from Google or whatever. So it's important that some of our customers are using companies like Limelight Networks because we help to grow the business.
Thank you. I'm Doron, I'm VP Clients for Nuviad. Nuviad is a mobile RTB platform serving the DSP and SSP with a very strong data-driven platform. We analyze huge numbers of daily user requests and build strong user profiles, which really assists us in serving optimized campaigns for video. A strong part on hyperlocal, which a lot of companies are talking today. We've been in this field for about 2.5 years, serving, and today we have been seeing video campaigns serving for mobile with strong segmentation for gender, age groups, and even interest and other demographics, and building high quality campaigns.
Great. I also do it quick. I'm Guy Hollander from Trofit. We are a startup company. We create technology for, we're on the advertiser side. For marketing team, we specialize in games, when actually we can enhance their campaigns by providing them a tool that the marketing team can actually kind of promo codes. So campaigns where you will see a video campaign and in the end of it you get some item for free. We see that this kind of method actually increased the total ROI of our advertisers. So that's it. That's about us. Maybe I stand for 1 second. So let's start before we have some questions, just to understand our target audience. Can you please tell me who's from this audience is an advertiser? Like on the advertiser side, he can raise his hand so we know. Okay, those are guys we want to meet after that. Thanks. Let's say the others are the publisher, the one who, you know, try to make money maybe, put some video ads inside and monetize. Okay, and we try to sell you SDK or whatever. Okay, we have a few of them. And there are the vendors who try to create technology around all these video things. Okay, it seems that yeah, there is quite a lot. And who are the users who don't just sit on the couch, you know, see video ads or just relax and just come here by accident or just enjoy it? Okay, there is one. Great. We love you. Okay. So before we start with some dig into more, because they're really professional guys here, let's start with a very open question. Why is video so exploding? I mean, everybody loves video. I have a daughter, 10 years old. She all the time play with this Musical.ly app, and I have a nephew who plays guitar on YouTube and is amazing. And I see on my Facebook all those video ads of games. What do you see is so big, and what is your perspective about that? Just.
Well, for outside, I also see on the personal level, I think it is a daughter's thing, because I also see my daughter, which is only 6,
yeah,
but
crazy. Just all the time.
And they don't really understand why when they see broadcast, it's only when they can't control what they're seeing. So I think it's a different approach today. But on our professional level, I would say one thing from reading the numbers you see on whether it's published numbers from Netflix and other platforms, that millennials, which there are more and more users, younger users, I would say, on mobile devices, and they even see, I think Netflix numbers is about 50% of the millennials see the video consumption on mobile devices. We see more and more possibilities on mobile, and we see the growth in content, and I think that's a matter of generation mostly. And we see more opportunities and more publishers, technology-wise, can do more things with mobile devices. So I think that's part of the thing. I think on the next stage we'll talk about the monetization possibilities.
I think what I said earlier is video is the main communication vector. When I mean communications, it can be entertainment, it can be movies, it can be TV shows, it can be live sport, it can be corporate video, it can be advertising. And definitely, if you look to the last Millennium survey, we did a survey this year about 1,000 panel. Definitely, the Millennium generation is a key change in the behavior and the consumptions. They are spending more than 1 hour per day looking video. And when they watch video on smartphones. But it's not only the fact about having the video, it's about the change in the behaviors. If we don't speak anymore about the millennium, but let's speak about the X generation, my generation, for example. The consumption of video is changing depending on the day of the hour. If I am at work, I will use either my smartphone or my laptop to see some corporate website. If I am at home, I will use either my tablet or my connected TV to see home entertainment. So there are an explosion of video because it is currently and today the way of communicating and interconnecting with the audience, which is the best way to exchange. Here we are in, let's say, the Occidental world, but you need to have a worldwide picture as well. So if you go to India, if you go to Africa, these audience don't have TVs, or they don't have set-top box, or they don't have consoles. And the smartphone, or even the tablet, is the screen to the world. They are going to watch anything from outside the world because this is how we interconnect. And when we did the survey for the millennium generation, the first type of content they are watching is TV shows. The second one is movie or entertainment. And the third one is YouTube, where we know the strengths of YouTube and all the video platform, user-generated content. But what we need to take into account is to have a wide picture, and especially for all the emerging markets. And emerging markets, they are using video as the main factor of communications, and they are watching any content on smartphone.
We see that the video has become a trend, it's grown, and it is a fact. As my colleague mentioned, the video right now used in every aspect of our life. If it's describing some article, if it's promoting any content, we see that the content that Facebook is promoting with some preview, which is receiving much higher engagement. And it's a great tool to communicate. It's passed on not only the basic text, it's passed emotions. You see people inside, if it's not comics video. So the video trend will continue, as I already mentioned before, till 2020 at least.
All right, good, thank you. Okay, so let's go next and talk about some topics. Let's start with mobile video ads. Supposed to be this year over $4 billion ad spend, which is a lot of money. And let's try to divide and segment all this group of interest. Let's start, I think, with the advertisers that were there. At least they show their hand that they're advertisers. And if I'm an advertiser today, what's important for me if I want to use this video ad as a marketing solution? What do you see that advertisers really important for them, and they talk to you and they ask you some advice?
I believe it's two things. It's quality and transparent. The demand partners have to understand exactly who the audience, who is the end user behind the ad opportunity. Then they can make the best decision they can based on their technology, based on the decision making, what is the most matching campaign. So here we have, in order to provide them high quality, we need to provide the anti-fraud solutions. They have to consider all the aspects. At the end, if the domain partners show on your transparency and they can rely on your quality from anti-fraud, from describing the real opportunity in details, they provide you fill rates.
Well, I think definitely quality is one key factor, but there are other ones also. It's scalability. For big ad server platforms, if you have, let's say, 1,000 or 10,000 connections per second, or even 100,000, it can happen. You need to be able to have the architecture or content delivery network like Limelight Network to be able to support that. What we help also within the ecosystem is the mobile world is very, very complicated in terms of the workflow, because if you want to be able to reach, let's say, all the different various formats, you need to be able to have at least between 20 to 30 formats of delivery. It can be HLS, HGS, Microsoft format, whatever. So it can be very complicated. And also, our ecosystem from the device manufacturer, they want to change every year a new device. And some of the big companies in the tech industry also are earning money on royalties on new formats. So they are pushing their own formats. HLS is the Apple HTTP live streaming format. HGS is the HTTP dynamic streaming format from Adobe. You've got Microsoft. So there is a big war also on the video format. So this is where also we can help our customer. Instead of having, let's say, the issue of trying to get the workflow, they can supply to us one video format. And what we will do, we will deliver and transform the formats on the fly. So whatever the audience is, you will get the right format, the right size, the right resolution on the right screen, which is very important, I think, for the ecosystem.
Thank you. To add to my colleagues, I think two things which I'd like to elaborate is on the quality. I think is to break down what we see is it's really interesting. The past, I would say, year to 18 months is the change in the quality demands or the quality requirements we're seeing. And I think we're looking at understanding the quality and talking about the different, and the formats is a challenge in some cases. And I think that also causes, when we read and we hear a lot about these quality issues and these discrepancies and these different kinds of things affecting the video serving, and the advertiser would like to know more and more today. So I think transparency is a big issue. Ad quality and looking into it, quality today talks a lot about fraud detection and anti-fraud mechanisms, and I think understanding the user more thoroughly would be the answer in this case, or some part of the answer. And I think understanding the devices, as you said, is also an important issue. So, and that goes together with the transparency, is to show the devices, I think the different versions, the different platforms, the different ad servers, and try to combine all of them to give some kind of a very honest, I would say, picture or ecosystem to the advertiser to understand what they're buying. And I think even today, the talk is about repricing, not just about the change, but because of the different qualities. So buying what is actually working and what is actually delivering, and that will obviously, I think, affect the price. But I think advertisers are willing to pay to see quality in terms of anti-fraud, in terms of transparency, and in terms of discrepancies.
Interesting. And if I'm an app developer, or now I want to make sure I can monetize it, and you can use my inventory to put some video ads. If I'm a publisher and what is the main important for the publishers that you see that want to monetize through video ads, and you can help them with?
From what I see as the problem that sees in many cases both sides, I would say that obviously publishers want to monetize and see more of that. But I think what they do need, I think transparency is a big issue. The more they can show through the different, at least on the programmatic platform, is what kind of details they can show, what kind of segmentation they can give. Any details I see specific now, companies going for specific publishers, and I think editors becoming more picky about what they're buying. So a publisher that can show more segmentation, I think, is becoming more and more genuine, not just on the geo level, but if they can share the more details they can share through the app or through the site would be a game changer, I think, specifically in 2017.
I think one of the main challenge for the ad platform is going to be more accurate about the audience and the targets, which is linked to big data, which is linked to I've got a message, a content, but what time of the day I'm going to deliver it, because it's not going to be the same audience. So everything which is going to be related to big data intelligence about the adverts is going to be key. There is a lot of debate currently with ad blockers, as you know. Ad blockers happens to be now one of the key issues for content providers, or let's say content owners, publishers, but so ad servers. But the reason why, it's because all of you in the audience, if you are looking to a website and you've got an ad which is going to be on your screen that you are not going to skip and which is not relative to what you like, you don't want that. For you, it's an intrusion. So I know that the challenge for the ad platform is to be able to deliver the right ad at the right target at the right moment. If they manage to do that, then ad blockers is going not to be anymore an issue. But there is a big business issue there around that, because there's a lot of money about monetization. The budget for advertising in digital world is exploding. I know that in the US and the UK, the figures are in a growth rate about 10% a year, which is very high compared to the other rest of the monetization. But still, having said that, ad blockers and the way that the ad are served to the audience has to be watched, analyzed, and reworked in a way that is going to be available and is going to be accepted by every one of us. We are all consumers. It's not talking about another world, but what I want to see an ad which is going to be in link and synchronized with what I like, with what I'm going to buy, with my leisure, or with my family issue, or whatever.
I see several concerns that the publishers have. Some of them they're straightforward, some of them have problems. So each publisher wants to yield their traffic, want to make more money. So this is one of the main publisher concerns. But doing that, they always have to consider the balance between the end user experience of using their website, their apps, and the mobile video ads, actually any video ads. Video ads have negative impact on the end user, we know it. So the best solution for publishers to try and the balance between when and how to monetize it, and the losing of the end user. So it's the fight that each publisher fighting alone, because only he knows his application. He knows what's the best way to provide the video ad, so the end user have much more tolerance for it, and then he will see. And other aspect, it's the demand partners' requirements. Advertisers have a lot of requirements, and publishers have to consider them. Consider when and what information to provide, to be fully transparent. For example, one of the problems that we see in the publisher is caching issue. It's very problematic from the demand point of view. When the publisher caching any video ad, it's actually shown to in different time or different end user. It's very problematic from the demand partner, because the campaign was specifically provided for specific target segments of the user. If it's changed, the problem. If the video is shown or any banner ad is shown in different time, it's also a problem, because from the market aspect, they consider what is the best time to show this video ad. So if a publisher consider all this, the yield, the end users as well as the demand partners requirement, and then this publisher winning, and at the end they have earning more money.
Thank you. Two quick questions before we go to the next topic. according to what you think, it's more an issue of a demand or supply. Like there is more, you know, it's a problem to put the videos and find the suppliers, or the other way around.
Actually, it's working in both direction. For the advertisers, it's very important to have this quality to know exactly what the opportunity and to receive the opportunity according to their target segments. This is what the marketers want to. From the publishers, quality is also very important. Let's remind there's a lot of considerations, like the publisher don't want to see alcohol or tobacco, or different countries have different limitations, conditions for the ad. So at the end, ad quality is important for both sides, and both sides checking from their aspects what is required. And the magic is to create this and to provide this matching in real time.
Interesting.
No, yes, definitely, I agree. It's linked together. Whatever the publisher, the content owner, and the ad servers, they've got an issue, and they need to synchronize about what is the target, as you mentioned, the yield, and what is the best fit in the business model. Well, we are talking about monetization on mobile, which is linked to advertising. Some of our customers or in the ecosystem are content owners, so they are using subscriptions model, which is different, completely different model. But still, to be able to have an ROI or to be able to have a purchasing act and a consolidation, quality definitely is key. You were mentioning about latency. It's definitely one key factor as well. For an abandon rate, we know from the surveys that if you've got a video, for example, which is buffering, no matter if it is premium content or ad servers, you will have something between 30 to 40% of the audience which are going to abandon. So it's going to be bad for your business, for the ROI. It's going to be bad for your brand image, because it's also an issue not only on the monetization itself, it's the message behind that on the content itself. So it's not only the ad server or the ad content, it can be the content also which is also embedding the ad serving. So all linked together, it's a very critical situation from the content owner, the publishers, and the ad platforms to have the right synchronized, to have the right product and the good quality.
Speaking even on the general point, and as a programmatic platform, obviously we need both sides, and this have to be some kind of fit. But I still see, and I think we saw in the beginning of 2016, and I think will be stronger in 2017. I think we are very aware of the publishers, and I think publishers that are taking I would say the opportunity, or taking advantage of the moment, and understanding what the users are looking for, and looking at advertisers' trend. I think publisher is where we put a lot of our focus in, and we see from our supply partners, from exchanges, and starting to serve as an SSP ourselves, we see that understanding what we can do with the publishers has a very big effect. And so I would say we obviously need both of them, but on our side, I think we're trying to understand more and more, and building strong relationship with the publisher side and the supply side, I would say, in general. And I think that's an important key for us.
Okay, the second quick question, it would be interesting if you can share maybe a case study or stuff you know. What is the balance to create the length of the video? Like it's that, you know, the advertisers will get the most ROI of it, and the publisher will get the great revenue for him. Like, is it, you know, we know that in the past it was 45 seconds or 30 seconds. Do you also see that if I want to create a video and I want to put it, what should be the length I should use to get the most ROI from me? Both sides.
For both sides, that's kind of a challenge, I would say. But I guess we'll hear probably different answers. But from what I see, on our end, it really depends, I think, of what's been said here before. I think the context is very important, understanding where and time of day, by the way, and other parameters are on it. But I think less than 30 seconds is working for, as far as we can see, For the users themselves, as I said, we are looking to understand the publishers more and more, and we see when we try to keep our exchanges and their publishers happy in order to grow the business. That's the key point. So I think today we set off up to 30 seconds and shorter than that, and I think our advertisers can say that they are showing an effective ROI on that, but that's what we're seeing from our point of view on that side.
Well, we are a technology provider, so I'm not going to speak for the name of the content owners or the ad platforms. But basically, I think I would agree with you that something around 20 to 30 seconds is now the right average for end consumers, because this is the time now they are going to be attracted. And the message has to be very percutant. It has to be instant. That's the way we live. We are living in a digital world where you need to have something which is going to be very percutant, very efficient. So a message which is going to be in the range of 20 to 30 seconds, I think is the right range. If you go above, then it has to be very specific content, very premium content, where they know that they have already the audience and they are already going to see it from 1 second to the other. Typically, it can be, when I mean this long content is going to be trailers, for example. So movie trailers, it's above the 30 seconds. It can be video games. You've got some big AAA contents on the market. And it can be some very specific corporate messages, but it has to be very few.
We see different, actually, video sizes in the market. If we're talking more on the video brand advertisements, indeed it's less than 30 seconds. If we're talking about the performance installation video ads, it's a little bit more, 40 minutes. If it's actually content promotion, we see even higher. But it's very important to understand that from marketers' point of view, they see different KPIs. They see the completion rate. They know what is a video ad. They know exactly how it's running, and they check in, make an ABC test to see what is working. At the end, they're interested in if a completion rate was high, if the end user have enough tolerance to see the video ad till the end. If it was skippable, had an option to skip, but still he was looking. And this is one of the KPIs that measurement their success.
All right, thank you. Next topic. As you know, we are in Israel. And in Israel, there is a lot of startups and innovation. And you, as a very big mobile video tech providers, I guess you can share some of your thoughts on it. We see a lot of startups come up and try to provide or create some technology around video. What do you see like the big challenges, and maybe you can focus on one challenge that you think there is a big opportunity there, and if innovation will come from startups and stuff like that can help move forward with this video industry. It will be interesting to learn.
Indeed, here in Israel, we startup nations. A lot of startups in different technologies that provide solutions to the advertising industry. I believe actually it's several solutions. From one hand, it's programmatic RTB solutions using the machine learning. We saw more and more machine learning solutions come into the industry, and more startups started to use it. Then it's combination of the player that have a direct impact on the industry, and different kind of fraud prevention, anti-fraud solutions. So I believe the startups that are going forward in these areas, their solution will be welcome. Each time there's a new frauds, new solutions required, new formats, new devices, so different players have to be supported. So this is the directions.
Now I'm wondering what you have to add in last, but we'll keep listening. I think as a startup ourselves and being about almost 3 years in programmatic and serving video, I think some of the challenges which I see and solutions I would like to see, obviously not talking about ourselves, is I think what mentioned before about formats is addressing the video formats issues would be interesting. I think anti-fraud mechanisms is a big thing. I'm reading more and more. I talked before. I'm reading more and more about discrepancy, which is, on one hand, very nice to hear that that we're not the only ones dealing with that issue. But on the other hand, I think we see a lot of really exciting solutions in Israel on the ad server side, players on ad quality. I'm seeing a few great solutions. We're seeing great solutions on many other things, but I think dealing with discrepancy and understanding different and integration with different platforms, solutions on that side would be really interesting to see. And I think on the viewability side and all the the known trends for video are also really interesting to see would be interesting to see new projects in 2017.
Yeah, we are not anymore a startup within Limelight, but what we can see in this ecosystem is still what we just said about the challenges, about the formats, but also about the new business models. Israel definitely is a key country for startups and new technology. This is my third trip to Israel. I know a little bit about the ecosystem. I'm living in France, and we've got a big ecosystem, of course, of startups. There are some also collaboration between France and Israel on startups. I know that one of the key things now from, let's say, from the European side, it's also to counterbalance the weight of the Americans. Because obviously the big share, the big pie for the monetization is coming from the big agency or the big groups from the US. So I know that also in one of the ecosystem and one of the field where Israel or even the French or maybe the UK startups, they are also bringing up all the intelligence, all the big engineers, school or university that they are in Tel Aviv, they are in Paris, they are in London, to bring also new ideas, new technology, new workflows to adapt to that. I know there is, for example, in France, there is one ad platform which is called Teach TV, which is doing very well now on a worldwide basis. What they are focusing on is very high quality content, but also it's also on their business model. They are going to be paid from the content owners only on the ROI and on the actual conversion rate instead of the click rate. I think for the content owners or the publishers, mass volume in terms of clicks is not anymore the right KPI. They want to be able to have the monetization and the revenue on the exact audience. This is what we were discussing earlier. And so that's one example of one startup company why they are also so successful. It's because, yes, the content is key, but also on the business model, the monetization, they are paid, or the revenue is only generated by the right click, the right audience, and with the full length of the ad.
Interesting. Okay, maybe we. Sorry, you wanna? Okay, fine. Just do one pause, and maybe just before we have the last topic, maybe move some questions to you, audience. Any question you want to ask those gentlemen, please feel free.
We always have differences between in-apps and mobile web or desktop. Each of the platform has its own concerns, but what I think from the companies in the industry, they would like to have one solution for everything. Even the technology and the approach is different. From the advertisers, you want to know that actually if it's decided to put the video ad inside the in-app, it will be shown. The technology that will bring it, it has to be transparent and very clear for the advertiser, but he doesn't want to concern at the end. He wants this one solution to work with any cross devices. And it was mentioned before that today usage of any end user on all devices, laptops, smart TV, connected TV at home. So at the end, the networks servers have to provide full solutions, so it won't be the difference from the marketer point of view on how the campaigns is executed.
Yeah, I think transparency, as you said, is key, no matter if it is going to be a native browser video or a video which is going to be via the apps. HTML is a key format anyway, and it has to be, yes, transparent, no matter if it is in the browser, on the app, or on the website, or on an application. It has to be very fluid, and this is one of the challenge of the ecosystem, to be able to adapt to whatever the environment is.
Thanks. I'm actually looking at this as we really like the in-app worlds, where we actually started. I think most of our supply at the beginning was we have a very deep look into the in-app look. That's a big part of what I was talking about, understanding the users. So I'm actually also thinking not just how to include the in-app, but how to move from the in-app and include the other parts from our end. And I think a few parts on that is we're seeing more and more solutions. We talked about solutions before that can add more things we can see for video in-app. But on my point of view is I'm trying to understand the user. I think that relates to what also was said here, that I would like to see if I can understand the user and see on different platforms. Then it shouldn't matter if I'm seeing it on in-app, on mobile world, or on mobile web, or on desktop, or any other platform. But if I can understand the user and see the same user can understand what is seen there, I think there'll be more and more advertisers going that way, and they'll allow us to offer more, say, solutions or to that question. But we're actually looking from the in-app outside and not going into the in-app on that part. So I think that'll be interesting.
More questions? I can bring the mic if you want. All right. From the advertiser side? No? Okay. Last topic, maybe you have two. Let's see. Can you share with us, I know we talk a lot of stuff and very general and let's go down, and can you share with us some case study, maybe successful case study with an advertiser that come with you? What was his KPIs? What was, how you given the solution? What exactly was the campaign? He was happy, not happy. If he wasn't happy, what happened next? It would be interesting, maybe you cannot share names, but just to give some more specific successful case study would be always interesting, I think, to hear. If you can share with the crowd, it would be awesome. And if not, we can move to another topic.
No, we'll keep it quite general. I would say that, as I said before, a lot of the focus for us is on the user part, and I also mentioned the hyperlocal part, which is very strong in our analysis and look for. So I would say one of the interesting things where we combine video campaigns together with hyperlocal ads is I won't say the name of the country, but a very big pharmacy chain where we, through our understanding of and segmentation of the users, we could target specifically women at a specific age for a specific, say in general, the food supplement would be, and only target them at the storefront. So taking about 12,000 points across the country and only targeting at that point. So we get the relevancy on the point of the place. I'll be happy to elaborate on how we do segmentation on the gender part here. And so finding the right users, or on a high probability find the right users at a specific point, which is one of the best parts what I like about this ecosystem is we can give context through understanding the user, through the ad requests we're seeing, and we could also check the video, the completion. We can check. We could check the other performance. I would say parameters, and was really interested to see the positive outcome.
All right. Thanks.
I don't want to disclose too much confidential information about a customer, but let's say we've got some, at least in Israel, customer like AnyClip or Media Shakers. So one of the key challenges for them was the reach. It was the scalability, but the reach on the worldwide scale. So this is key because you need to address a worldwide market, a mass market. And this is how I think we solve this issue for them, or the challenges, is to be able to, within our technology, to cache the content on the closest way or the closest spot where the audience is. So no matter if they want to do some campaigns in North America, in Asia Pacific, in LATAM, in Europe, this is how we can help them. It's to get and to ensure them that we've got their content on the closest locations. And that's going to solve some issue about the latency that you were mentioning. It's going to solve the issue about quality because there will be no buffering. And it's going also to solve the issue about cost for them because companies like us, actually we are also making for them some savings on their own architecture. Because today you've got two choices, either as an ad server platform or even a content owner, because you can, we were mentioning Netflix, for example. Netflix was one of our customers 3 or 4 years ago when they decided to go on their own, let's say, CDN infrastructure. But they spent $100 million to do that. And with the expansion, we believe that their cost of production or delivery is around $200 million. So if in the audience you've got $200 million to put on the table to do that, let's do that. But if you don't, companies like us are going to help you also to maintain an architecture cost which is going to be as low as the minimum required, and we are going to, let's say, multiply the delivery points by our own technology and architecture.
Interesting.
I believe that one of the most important success factors in all the cases that we have, if it's with demand partners or publishers, is communication. There's sometimes, from time to time, there's issues, discrepancy that you mentioned, latency, and other issues that come and go every time. If you have communication with your partner, with your client, you can discuss freely in details the issue that you have. I believe most of the issues have been solved. I can tell you, for example, for our company as a tactic, most of our feature was development, follow-up conversation with their partners and publishers to hear what the problems they have, if it's latency, to go more deep, to make due diligence, where the servers are, and all other issues that is actually we can discover it. So the key factor is great communication, both sides. Then I believe most of the issues can be solved.
Interesting. I also want to share with you one case study, interesting, that related to video, specific in games. We're working with a big advertiser called Gris, and he used about 3 months ago, he had a new title, mobile game called League of War. And he used a video ad, it's called a pre-registration, before the game was on the App Store, on the Google Market. So he promoted the game by showing a great video ad. And then what he did, that user saw the video ad, and when they saw the video ad, they used to put their email, and when they launch the game, they get a link to download the game. And obviously, he chose a video because that's really show the gameplay and a lot of things of the game. But he tried to get more engaged users after 2 weeks, when they need to download the game, and they saw it 2 weeks before. So they actually combine technology when you finish, you see the video. Some users will see, let's say, free tank. Some other users see 400 gems. Some other use a free character. And when the game was launched on the App Store, you get a link. And when you download the game, you get the free item. That showed them a really the best ROI for them. And by the way, one of the challenges, and you write here, that was scalability. That was still hard for them to get a lot of users. But that was very interesting campaign we saw. I think we have another panel on trends about what's gonna happen, and I think we're about to finish now. So if you have more questions, please feel free. And if it's not, we will just say thanks and goodbye. All right.